Hello, everybody. This is Nico Wolfie and Samak Productions, and welcome back to the faith-based podcast Crossblades, where it is all about faith, pop culture, and everything in between.
That's right, folks. What episode is this? I believe this is episode 5.
Yes, episode 5. And we're going to call this episode, I believe, Division in Fandoms.
Yes, division in fandoms. Why, honestly, it just needs to stop. Like we said in our other episodes, storytelling does indeed matter, but there are other things that are more important than storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, there are. So, how about you begin, so we can get this train rolling?
It's going to be a train that ends up wrecking, but alright, I'll keep it rolling.
Train wreck!
Yeah! So, so something that I think every single one of us has noticed before, especially on social media, like, TikTok comment sections, Instagram, Reddit.
DeviantArt.
Yeah, Demon and Art. But, like, just, it is rare when I can find just a fan base that is not divided.
Mm.
Like, it's one thing to have different opinions. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the people who just share their different opinions and discuss that. I'm talking about, like, I mean, we all know it. So a good example is very recently how with the new Superman movie coming out, I have yet to see it. I among the people who just kind of has superhero fatigue. I really honestly don't care anymore. But with that being said, every video I see on it is people arguing about the movie.
Mm.
Either it's people trying to say it's better than Man of Steel, people trying to say Man of Steel is better than Superman. Then, of course, you have your Christopher Reeve diehard fans who are saying that the 1970s version is better.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, then there's people, the Snyder haters, and then the Snyder fans. In my personal opinion, I think the Snyder haters are more insufferable than the Snyder fans. That's just my personal opinion for what I've seen online. But that alone is a good example. Like, literally, you see it across almost every fandom, whether it be super all the different types of DC Marvel superheroes, action movies. Heck, you probably could find it in romance, but
And
like,
even in anime.
yeah, anime is a good one. Yeah, it's just like I said. I'm not talking about people sharing different ideas and opinions. I'm talking like people will literally get down and knock down, drag out arguments over what insert is better than insert.
Yes. I've seen it all the time in anime fandoms, and I also saw a video on TikTok of a guy literally who went and got merch from the most recent Superman movie just to destroy it, to prove a point, saying, "This is not my Superman." Rips the T-shirt. "This is my Superman." Have you seen that video?
I have not seen that video.
Yeah, that would make you have full blown rage, in my opinion.
You see, it's so stupid because it's like I'm going to touch briefly on this. From what I have seen, the new actor did a good job.
Mhm.
Like I said, I just don't care anymore. But like each each film is going through for a different tone of Superman.
Mhm.
Just so you know, there's going to be it's going to be a different take on it. This one's more lighthearted. Man of Steel was a dark, gritty, more realistic take on what if Superman was on Earth.
Mhm.
The Christopher Reeve one was just straight up, you know, goofy '70s fun based off the comics.
Yeah.
So of course there are different takes on it, but like I don't understand the whole you hate something so much that you're going to go to that level and
Mm.
be like and post no, number one, do it, and number two, post your stupidity online.
Yeah. People. Let's just be honest. Some people just don't need to be on the internet.
No, they don't.
But it's so accessible these days. But that's another topic for another time. Um,
Write that down.
People who don't need to be on the internet. That's another topic. But for me, I've seen it mostly in anime fandoms. Like it's like with Bleach, people like to argue that Bleach was never one of the big three. When yes, it was, in my opinion. Like the big three were One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. So people like to say Bleach was never one of the big three, and I'm like, it was literally one of the highest grossing manga in Shonen Jump from like 2001 all the way like to 2012 for like 11 years straight.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, like, uh, I haven't seen Bleach. I haven't seen One Piece nor Naruto.
yeah,
I know people are probably going to hate me in the comments section, but then if you do so, you're literally going to prove my point of this episode.
exactly.
But even though I'm not a huge, I mean, I like some anime. I just haven't watched enough to really like, have a lot of opinions on it. But yeah, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, even from a non anime fan, I can definitely say, yeah, those are definitely the big three. I have seen their impact on
Mm.
pop culture and Comic Con and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and you can see how Bleach was Taita Kubo, how he had to go through blood, sweat, and tears to get his manga through Shonen Jump because he literally was on almost dying when he was finishing Bleach.
As a writer myself, I 100% understand getting your dream and your vision out there, but that's a little much.
Yeah, but that's another topic for another time. But about the darkness of the anime industry, because that is a that's a topic that should be touched upon.
Hey, write that down.
I shall.
But yeah, it's like I made like on my YouTube channel like years ago, I made a little video talking about why I think the division and fandoms is stupid. Of course, it's gone now. I deleted that cringe. But anyways,
How old were
but
you?
oh, it was like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't. No, actually, it was a four.
It's probably before you met me.
Actually, no. I think it was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. It was 5 years ago. But anyways,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. Opinions are valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, to their own set of beliefs, to their own theologies, ideas. But what I don't understand is why is it that I mean, you can apply this to anything really, but let's just stick with the on topic. But whenever somebody expresses, "Oh, well, I have a different opinion," the other person, in many a times, gets defensive
Mm-hmm.
and sees it as an attack when it's not. It's just a different opinion, and they start attacking the other person and wanting to say that, "Oh, your opinion isn't valid." Like, let's take Dune for an example.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I saw Dune Part Two in IMAX. That was my first IMAX experience.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. First movie was a slow burn, but I liked it. The second movie was just an absolute masterpiece. Both of them are masterpieces. Comment sections galore were filled with, "I don't understand how people would like this pile of crap. This is so slow and so boring." And people like like, "Oh, I fell asleep through both of them," and be like, "So screw you. This is a cinematic masterpiece. You just have brain rot if you don't like this movie. Your opinion doesn't matter." And I'm like, guys,
Chill.
chill. Yes, I do kind of agree. There may be some brain rot involved, but chill.
Yeah.
Or or another opinion that will get me crucified, but once again, is when y'all start pounding those nails in, you're proving my point. The Dark Knight is considered literally the greatest superhero movie ever. I disagree. Very.
I 100% agree with you because The Dark Knight was great, and please don't burn me at the stake for this either because I don't want to be executed. But I have not seen The Dark Knight in full. I have not seen all of it. I've only seen like bits and pieces. But I've heard it's really good, and we actually have it on DVD. I need to watch it for crying out loud. Anyways, um,
I I have. Granted, like you said, it is good, but it is so overrated. Like every single time people have an, a conversation about about that movie. They want to hail it as they want to put it on like God status and practically worship it.
Like S tier.
And yes, and if that's their opinion, okay, that's fine.
Hmm.
They're entitled to that opinion. Me personally, I don't see the hype.
I don't either.
I personally think it's popular just because Heath Ledger died right before it did, and that hyped the movie up.
Yeah, probably.
They profited off his death, in my opinion. But anyways, if I were to say my opinion, you know that people would come after me and tell me what an absolute idiot I was for saying that. No, this is the greatest movie. I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not even a superhero movie. It's a crime drama.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. I'm gonna be controversial too.
Oh boy.
Everyone hails that Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time.
Yes, I
And
I
we
did not
both
like that.
we watched it together, and we can both agree it's not the greatest.
No, it's not. The plot is all over the place.
Yep.
From a writer's standpoint, it's not very structured well.
Nope.
The idea of Doc Ock robbing banks to buy the stuff to remake the machine is absolute nonsense. And how in the world did he have it shipped to that out of the blue place he was held up at?
Yeah, exactly
Because
that.
you literally see him opening the boxes. I'm like, how did he have it shipped? That one, how did he have it shipped that quick? Two, what address is that?
Yeah, exactly.
And the whole MJ Peter romance.
That is a snore fest. And let's just be real. And I'm only gonna talk about this briefly. MJ is toxic as heck.
Which, okay, that's actually a popular opinion right there.
Oh, it is.
Most people would agree with us about the MJ being toxic. Most people said that Peter should have went with Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula is cute.
Yeah, she was perfect for him. But yeah, and also I live up to the meme. I did not care for the Godfather. My
Yeah.
brother my brother loves those movies. I understand why. They were very well made, very well acted. I just personally felt that they were overlong and boring.
Mm-hmm.
And before you people come at me saying that I have brain rot, this is coming from someone who says that Lord of the Rings Return of the King extended cut is his favorite movie. That movie is almost 5 hours long.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, I mean, I like slow burns. Like I said, I like Dune part. I like the first Dune. I like the second Dune. I like Drive. I like, some of the noir films that are slower burn. It just this one, I just didn't particularly care for it. But if I said that, then millions of movie watchers across the globe would hunt me down and burn me at the stake.
Mm-hmm.
And same, and it's not just movies too, it's video games. I have yet to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm kind of dreading it, but people hail that to be the greatest video game ever. I can't fully give an opinion on that because I haven't played it. But
Yeah.
to me, it kind of looks like horse riding simulator.
Yeah, I could say the same.
I have it, I just haven't played it yet. I did play the first one. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That one was actually really good. But granted, that was a 24-hour game, whereas Red Dead Redemption 2 is like 150 hours.
Yeah.
Not sure I want to commit to that. But anyways, we're getting off topic. We're just right now, right? This was supposed to be discussing division and fandoms, but we're just giving our controversial opinions that no one asked for.
But it's proving a point.
I know. Anyways, so my point is, actually, what is my point? No, I'm just kidding. No, this is my point. Why does it matter?
What does what
Like,
matter?
my opinion.
Well, I want to use the age-old quote that my dad gave me a long time ago. Opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them, and they all stink.
Well, my dad said buttholes, but that works too.
Yeah. Um,
But here's my thing. Like I said, if I were to say that to many people, they would get all riled up. My question is, why would you?
I think it's a lack of maturity in many instances.
True, but I'm like, seriously, why does it matter that I have a different opinion than you do? Why does it matter that you have a different opinion than I do?
Comes down to
See, and
entitlement.
well, yeah, that is one thing, but I was gonna say for some reason people just have this idea of you have to be just like me.
Hmm.
In order for you to be worth have any value according to my eyes, you have to be just like me. It's not just in fandoms, but we're just going to use fandoms for now because I don't want to get political.
No.
But it's I find that so interesting because I will flat admit I've done it without even realizing it. Like someone will state that they have an opinion about a film. Like whenever people say that they didn't like Lord of the Rings, my first reaction is like, "How could you not like Lord of the Rings?" But then I'm like, "Wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I doing?"
Coming from the guy with the long butt pipe.
This is Gandalf's pipe, by the way.
Yes.
It's a wrap up. The tiny little bitty segue. Sorry, guys, I'm a nerd. You're just gonna have to deal with this.
Hmm.
I searched high and low for a accurate pipe because even a lot of the official film replicas were not entirely accurate. Either the stem was too short or the bowl didn't come to a point right here.
Hmm.
I found this guy on Etsy. This is actually a smokable pipe. I'm not going to smoke it because it's display only, but he made it perfect. So I grabbed it. It
Nice.
sits on my desk.
Nice.
By the way, for those of you who wonder what pipe this is called a church warden.
Ah, nice.
Whatever. There are different. They come in different bowl shapes, but the ones with the long stems, those are called church wardens, by the way. Anyways, back to the topic on hand.
Hmm.
It's
Um,
because I think the reason why a lot of people get so bent out of shape over it is one, like you said, entitlement, and they, for some reason, people view as if you have a different opinion or if you're different than me, then that means you're an enemy.
hmm.
I mean, good grief, that could be applied to so many aspects of human history. Oh,
Yeah.
these people are different than us. Let's kill them.
Yeah, no, but it's not like that. It shouldn't be like that.
Mm-mm.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven, right?
Amen to that.
Yeah. So, if that's the case, then let's take you and I for example. We mentioned this in the first episode. Like, you don't like Devil May Cry. I love Devil May Cry, but I don't say, "How could you not love Devil May Cry? You suck." And like, no, I don't do that. And the thing is that he's really into GI Joe, for example. I could care less about GI Joe, but it's okay. We have a common ground that we stand upon, and that's solid enough to keep our friendship together, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's like the thing is, everybody has different interests. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody is catered. People cater to different things in different fandoms. Like I said, I'm. I used to love superheroes. Nowadays, I could really care less,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Hmm.
But there are still some. Well, that is mainly to do with the state of superheroes nowadays. But even then, I've just been I've consumed so much of it to where I'm just kind of like, okay,
You're just
I'm
burnt
done
out.
here.
You're
I'm
burnt
just gonna
out.
burn out with it. But
I feel like with the division and stuff that we need to, but the thing is that we need to, with the people who are trying to divide people, they need to be called out, in my opinion.
no, they do, yeah,
And like, in a loving way at first, of course, but if they don't stop their crap, then they should, um, they should, there comes a point where sometimes people just need to be, I hate to say it's exiled because they're just toxic,
yeah,
but don't do that as a first initial thing.
no. I mean, like Titus 3:9 says, do not argue over worthless controversies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, and the verses are mainly pertaining to theology
Mm-hmm.
within the church, but you could apply it to other aspects. And it's like, tell a fool once, tell them twice, and if they're not listening to you, then just forget it.
Yeah, I
Quit
agree.
trying, quit quit trying to argue with them. You're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you can apply that to anything, especially within this, because something that I've also noticed is a lot of the division is you'll have these trolls that'll start something,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll have common people who I I get it. I've done it myself. These people are attacking their opinions, so naturally you would want to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it starts out as a, well, hey, I don't think that's fair,
Mm-hmm.
to they are literally doing the exact same thing the troll's doing, and it's just the two of them going back and forth.
Yeah, but trolls are trolls.
Exactly. You can't reason with them.
No.
But I think that right there is a lot of what the division in fandoms is. Simply, if you people would stop engaging with it, then I can guarantee you it would stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what a lot of these people are doing. They insert the rage bait
Mm-hmm.
to get people riled up.
Mm-hmm. And I think that there are some people who are very self-aware of what they're doing. Now, granted, some people are not, but the people who are we need to be wary of because those people are not good people to have around.
No, tell me about it.
So, and
Like,
mm-hmm.
no, you go ahead.
I was saying that I'm not gonna say their name on this podcast because that wouldn't be right. But you know someone who I'm talking about who was very much like that, self-aware of what they were doing and would not stop.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about. And wouldn't you say they're more of a person who would get wild up over having a different opinion?
Yes, and a few other people that I once knew, yeah, they would start stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah,
which is why I don't. Yeah,
yeah. But we're not gonna name names because that's not what we do here.
no, no, we would just fall right in that category.
Exactly.
But one thing amidst amidst the rambling, like I said, we're probably rambling a lot this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, maybe it's just me. You've been making fair points. I'm a rambler,
It's all good.
but ultimately, like I was saying earlier, why what I don't understand is why do these people make this, like, revolve their lives entirely around this? Like, you see it all the time. It's like they make these opinions like their core that they're so willing to fight people on, and it's like there are so many much more things in life that actually
I was gonna
work.
say that I just wanted to give a point here about that. That's because number one, they're not rooted in Christ, in my opinion,
True.
and also because they don't have a life. I hate to say it because they don't have a life
True.
revolve around that stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've even seen Christian people do this.
Of course, but that even just because someone claims to be a Christian doesn't mean they are.
True. But, like, there are so many more important things in life. Like, we all heard the term "go touch grass,"
Mm-hmm.
but seriously though, I've noticed something.
What's up?
I remember looking at this. This was in the height of the restore the Snyderverse.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, yes, there were a lot of Snyder fans that are insufferable, but nowadays the Snyder haters are honestly, in my opinion, a lot worse. But a lot of them were simply just saying, "Hey, we want Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Mm-hmm.
back," which I think he deserved to have his vision shown. As a
Mm-hmm.
writer myself, I would absolutely hate for my story to be butchered.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of people who were like toxic and
Mm-hmm.
literally cyberbullying like random people associated with WB,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, this it's not worth breaking the law over.
Yeah.
But my ultimate point is, if you can get a bunch of angry nerds together to essentially bully Warner Brothers into releasing a Snyder cut,
Mm-hmm.
what else can we do?
Well, if you want to talk about bullying a studio, look at what happened with the Sonic franchise.
That's another point I was gonna make. Look, they bullied. a studio into changing a CGI design.
Mm-hmm.
If people can get together and make changes like that, can you imagine the amount of societal changes we can make within this country?
I agree. But
Like, seriously,
mhm.
human trafficking, if people literally rallied up and got bent out of shape, let their voices be heard, screamed, ran, raved, and cussed about that, I can guarantee you within a few years it would be gone.
Maybe in the public eye, but maybe not in the underground world.
Well, true. Let me rephrase that. It would be demolished and dwindled down to very low numbers.
I
It
think you
wouldn't
might be
be
right.
it wouldn't be nowhere near as rampant as it is now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so one of the reasons it's so rampant is because people just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that in a Christian podcast. Get over it. But people don't care. They're just sitting down and complaining about DC versus Marvel or Snyder versus uh, Gunn
Mm-hmm.
instead of tackling the things that need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many political problems within this country, so many moral problems with this country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, we people could, despite what a lot of people think, if we all rallied together and started doing what these nerds do, we
Mm-hmm.
could make a change.
I agree.
The silent majority, wink, wink, would be able to make a change if they weren't silent.
Yeah. And
Instead, we just want to dwell in our basements and just type away on our keyboards about things that don't matter.
yeah, called a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But I think I brought this up in the first episode. Sound of Freedom was a great push towards the end of human trafficking.
That was a good movie.
Oh yeah. I showed it to we have another friend on here named Scadvang. I think that's what he would be called by on this, but we'll do once he comes on we'll figure that out. But he I showed him Sound of Freedom and oh my gosh, she cried over it.
He cried.
Yeah, he cried.
Wow. But yeah, like, see,
And I'm not saying that to put him down. I'm saying that
no.
because he has humility and he has a heart. So, yeah,
Hold on a second.
you're good. But when it comes to division and fandoms, like if in a house divided among itself cannot stand.
Exactly.
That's the huge biggest thing. Why is there so much division? Because of well, human nature.
Exactly. And human nature is, well, kind of sinful nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point of the gospel, is to die to oneself, pick up your cross, and follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of Christians fall within the same thing. They argue about so many things that honestly do not matter. I mean, we could literally talk about so many different theological things, but like
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is about fandoms.
Yeah.
But Paul even said in 1 Corinthians 1:10, he said, "By the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I pray that you would all agree and that there would be no division among you, but you would be united in the same mind and the same judgment."
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 15:18 says, "A hot-tempered man stirs up division,
Mm-hmm.
stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel."
Mm-hmm.
Another Proverbs. Solomon had a lot to say about people who stir up stuff.
Yeah.
Proverbs 20, verse 3, "It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel."
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 29:22, "An angry person stirs up conflict, and a hot-tempered person commits many sins." Last one, 2 Timothy 2:23 and 24. "Don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments, because you know they produce quarrels. And let the Lord's servants not be quarrelsome, but they must be kind to everyone, able to teach and not resentful."
Mm-hmm.
Because let's just be honest, all it does is just make people angry. All it does is upset them. All it does is sometimes it will literally break up friendships over stuff like this. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
I
but
don't.
yeah, like, they just ultimately. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'd say I don't think it's worth just losing a friend over a difference of opinion,
No, it's really
unless that opinion is something very, very extreme. Let's be honest.
yes.
Like I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm gonna get burned at the stake for bringing this up. I know this for a fact. Lots of people think that pedophiles should be, or maps as they're called, should be accepted in society. No, they do not.
Nope. Nope.
If you have that opinion, get out of my sight.
Yeah, there's a cure for them.
It's called a wood chipper.
Well, I was gonna say there's these. Have you heard of the new pills?
But
They're about 9 millimeter in length. We're gonna get banned off Spotify if we keep talking like this.
okay. Should I just cut that out?
No, no, I want people to know where we stand on that. Let's not cut that.
Okay.
Let's
Anyways,
just leave it at
I'll
that.
just put it at. I'll just put an explicit tag up on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you
But no,
understand what I'm saying.
no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but like it's like when it comes to stuff like that, oh, most definitely, yeah. But like when it comes to stuff, opinions within fandoms, people need to understand that's the isn't the whole point of pop culture us coming together and
Hmm.
us uniting because of the fact that we are nerds.
Yes, and we're
We all
creative.
have, yeah, we're creative, we're nerds, we love these fandoms, we love these IPs, this content. The whole point of pop culture is to unite people,
Hmm.
even people with different opinions,
Hmm.
to unite them with the common ground on the things that they love because we love storytelling.
Of course, but
That's what is supposed to unite us together in the first place, not cause division.
yeah,
So this whole I'm just gonna flat be honest with you. If you claim to be a nerd and claim to be a part of pop culture and you go to Comic Cons and all that stuff, but yet you're stirring up division, are you really a nerd?
good
Are
question.
you really part of this?
Or are you just trying to stir up drama and be an attention seeker?
Exactly. What really matters in life?
Hmm.
Or can we kind of segue into that?
Yeah, we can segue into that.
I think I've talked enough. Why
Yeah.
don't you
No, you're
segue?
good. You're good. The division is that it's so prevalent, and I hate the fact that it's so prevalent. I've seen division in the Bleach fandom, for example, over the most stupidest of things, like what was that one thing, like how, like what's canon and what's not canon. You know what I'm saying? That's a big one.
That's commonly argued within comics.
Oh yeah, and then like I don't know, and then death battles, for example, between anime characters, who would win, who wasn't. I've seen friendships end over that. And shameless plug here, death battle. You Ichigo would totally cream Naruto.
Or like, recently people are debating whether or not Batman should have trunks or not in the new superhero movie, in the new
Trunks.
DC. The underwear on the outside.
Oh gosh.
Well, because they did it with Superman, so people
Yeah,
are literally getting into smackdown arguments over whether or not Batman should.
that is okay.
Me personally, I don't think so, but if they do, whatever.
Yeah, who cares? But when it comes to division and fandoms, another thing that I think about is that why are these keyboard warriors so hell bent on doing it? I want to know their mentality. I want to get inside their heads.
You want my thoughts of that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be brutal. Just give me a heads up.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's because they are just absolutely void of any form of purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
to where they are just so encompassed with self-loathing because they think that they will never amount to anything in life, because in this current state they will never amount to anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting off their ass and trying to make something out of themselves and contribute to society, they just want to go the easy dopamine way out, which is less complicated and requires less physical work, by just sitting on their
Tush.
sweaty butt and typing away at a keyboard just to get those small little levels of dopamine, just to make their miserable lives feel like it's worth something.
That makes a lot of sense. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy, that big fat guy who was at the eating a cookie and playing World of Warcraft in that one South Park episode. You know what I'm talking about?
That's exactly who I had in mind.
Just
The
like,
guy with covered in zits because he hadn't had a shower in years.
yep, exactly, same guy. Yep.
I think literally a lot of it boils down to is self projection,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is because they seek these things out because, like I said, it gives them that little bitty dopamine hit
Mm-hmm.
because they've got nothing better to do with their lives. And I'm like, literally, if those trolls took that exact same amount of energy into stirring up the pot,
Mm-hmm.
could you imagine what they could do for the world?
Yeah.
They could do so many great things and make so many great changes.
Yeah, they could. But I think that where you put your energy shows where you stand in life.
Exactly.
And we're
I mean,
doing
I
this podcast because we want to reach out to people and to um, we're putting our energy into this just because, yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, I get it. There was a time in my life where I get it. Life will hit you hard. You
Mm-hmm.
get drained. You don't want to do things anymore. But ultimately, you've got to buck up
Mm-hmm.
and do what's right. You can't just sit down and waste your entire life away. You've got to do something with yourself. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying you have to go out there and become a millionaire,
No.
but you got to go out there and at least make a life for yourself.
Yeah.
Make a life for people around you.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's why I'm in school right now to be a computer technician.
And that's why I'm really honing in on my writing, because I'm tired of making excuses, and I'm tired of this only being a dream. I want this to be a reality.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you guys want to get his book, I'll put it in the description of this episode. The Veritas Entertainment Western Tales. Put it in the description for you.
Just to clarify, it's not just my book. Me and my brother wrote a short story that is part of this collection. It's 15 short stories written by different authors.
Yep, and it'll be in the link. The link will be in the description below.
Bestseller in 3 categories on Amazon.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yes.
Anyways, so that's kind of the point I'm wanting to get to with this episode is, could you imagine, literally, let's just imagine every single troll, every single person getting divisive, at all of that division. What if everybody united on a common ground, agreed to disagree on the things that they just, couldn't agree on, and instead of causing all this strife and all this division, what if they focused on lifting others up,
Mm-hmm.
strengthening one another, contributing to society, instead of arguing over things that don't matter? Get let that voice be heard on things that do matter within this country and within the world that need to be addressed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many atrocities going on within this country alone
Mm-hmm.
that are not being noticed at all because no one cares. They're too busy arguing on whether or not a superhero should have underwear on the outside.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you would not. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
Like, seriously, the division, it's really tearing this country apart.
Mm-hmm. But.
I'm gonna go a little bit political here. I
Mm-hmm.
said I wasn't going to at first, but the same thing with the whole Republican versus Democrat, liberal versus conservative, Christian versus non-Christian, all of that. If we could just unite on a common ground and be like, okay, we want the greater good for this country and the greater good for our communities.
Mm-hmm.
We both have different ideas on how that will be, but there are many ideas we share,
Mm-hmm.
and let's that be our common ground and unite.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing: the reason why we are divided is because, through a Christian standpoint, like it says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
Yep.
but the rulers and powers and principalities of this present darkness. They want us to stay divided.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're united, well, everything I just said would take place.
Yep.
Yes, there would still be evil within this world. It's planet Earth.
Yep.
But there would be so much progress and we would dethrone the enemy from so many things.
Mm-hmm. But I think that there has to be a radical change before that happens. But what's going to start that change? But if you're hearing this, take part. Be a part of that
Exactly.
change.
Instead of being a keyboard warrior and trying to argue about things that don't matter, be a part of this change.
Yeah. Go to, go to be a part of your local community and, try and stop the things that are clearly not of God happening in your community.
Exactly. Even if you're not Christian, try to make a good change within your community. Try to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just sit there and argue over worthless things. Be the change in this country.
Mm-hmm. And if you're listening to this overseas, be the change in your own country because we're in the
Exactly.
U.S.
Exactly. There are
But
so
if you're
many.
listening to this and you're in a country that's not necessarily safe, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't think they would have access to this if that's the case.
It depends.
Yeah.
But needless to say, no matter where you are, no matter what position you're in, there is something that you can do to make a change,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's within your own household.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of arguing, like this was kind of division in fandoms, but it can be literally division within fandoms, politics, religion,
Why don't we just call
the-
this division and
theology
division
within
everywhere?
true theology within the same religion, because
Mm-hmm.
we're Christians, and
Yep. Yep.
we could do an entire episode talking about the stupidity of all the different theological debates within different denominations.
Yeah.
But anyway, unite on a common ground and try and be like, okay, what can we do? Literally, look at a problem that you know that you can tackle and tackle it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be selfish and try to argue with whether or not your opinion is correct. Take the same energy, look at a problem, try to fix it.
Mm-hmm. I really think that we should, since we did branch off a little bit, we should call this the division everywhere. The division
Man,
problem.
let's go ahead and call it within the division within fandoms, because that's what most of this episode was about.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I think we're actually at the almost 45-minute mark. Have anything
Do
else
you
to
have?
say?
I was actually getting ready to ask you that.
Yeah. Uh, no, unless you have another point to make, and I can give my comments on it.
And also, for another thing, for the trolls out there listening to this, think about how much more peace you will have within your life if you stopped this. I know you do it for the dopamine hit. You do it to get, to feel like you're doing something. But like the Bible says, whoever humbles himself will be exalted,
Mm.
but whoever exalts himself will be humbled.
Yep.
Think about it. Blessed are the peacemakers. If you truly want to have a joy within your life, if you want to feel like you have purpose, like you actually have done something for the greater good, put the keyboard down
Or the phone.
or the phone, whichever one it is, and instead of typing in horrific messages that tear other people down and sometimes literally destroys their lives,
Mm-hmm.
start uplifting them.
Mm-hmm.
Start uplifting people within your own community face to face. Trust me, it works. When you help other people and you see the amount of joy in their face, it will essentially rub off on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you will feel an amount of joy and peace like never before.
And it's
Like,
better than a dopamine hit.
it is, it's better than a dopamine hit. Like, there were many days when I was working my last job, I would be so bitter, so angry because it was a very hectic job. And I sometimes a customer would come and ask for help, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I really don't want to do this right now." But then when I would help them, and they would get they would be happy because they're like, "Oh, thank you! Finally, somebody actually was willing to help me. Thank you so much."
Mm-hmm.
The amount of joy and peace I would feel in that moment, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I actually did something. Yes, it was small, but I did something to help someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly wanted to tell that to some of my managers because they were just some of the most miserable people that I had ever known. And literally, they lived to make everybody's job harder. It's like, literally, if you just help people, that empty void you feel inside of you would be filled with joy.
It would be. And isn't there a verse that says, consider others greater than yourselves?
Yes, I forget which book, chapter, verse it is, but I yes, there is something like that in there.
I think it's in Philippians. Yeah, but consider others greater than yourselves. That's a big one. My dad uses that one on me all the time.
I mean, it's a good piece of advice.
I agree.
like like Jesus himself, he when he came to earth, he didn't come as the king. He
Mm-hmm.
literally came as a servant,
Yep.
and he served others.
We have to live off his example.
Exactly. And even if you're not a Christian listening or watching, seriously, if you start helping others, it will give you an amount of joy, peace, satisfaction, and purpose that you wouldn't believe, even if it's just little things.
Mm-hmm.
A little thing such as that can literally change your entire day.
Yep.
Have any thoughts?
I agree with you on like almost everything. I think. Um, but yeah, do you think that's a good signing off point, or do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's a pretty good sign off point.
All right. Well, you do the outro. I did the intro.
That has been the Crossblades podcast, where we talk about faith, pop culture, and everything in between. I am your host, Samek, and this is my co host, Nico. And don't forget to subscribe and watch us every time we upload, because we always got something cool coming up.
Yep. You guys also have a good one and have a blessed day. See you guys on the flip side.
See ya. And remember, humble yourself, and you will be exalted.
Yep. See you guys.